Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. It's James from DivyneCrochet and today I'm going to be giving you a quick tutorial on how to crochet this beanie. So in my pattern I tried to consider how I could make the top of the beanie not so bulbous and uncomfortable to wear, as I felt that this kept on happening to me while I was making my beanies. This project took me around an hour and a half to make. I will be going through how to crochet the black beanie in this tutorial, which fits more like a fisher hat. However, if you want a little bit of a bigger beanie, then you will simply just start by chaining more and doing more double crochets. So to start off, I do a slip knot and then I will chain 30. Now, if you want to make a slightly bigger beanie like the blue beanie that I showed you before, I would suggest to chain 35. However, you can kind of gauge how big you want this. This chain row will be your length from the top to the bottom of your beanie. So now I've completed my 30 chain stitches, I'm going to start working back into my project. So adding one chain as a turning chain, so that'll be 31 in total. I'm then going to go into that 30th chain and do my first single crochet, and I'm going to do 5 of these in total. And then you're going to do 5 half double crochets. This is what I do to ensure that the top of my hat isn't too bulky. I use these stitches, so now I can go down the rest of it in my double crochet, and when it comes to sewing it in at the end, it will be easier to create a beanie that isn't so bulky at the top. So as I started with a chain of 30, that means that I'm gonna have 20 double crochets to do. Obviously this will depend on how many you chained at the start. I'm coming towards the end of my row now, so to turn on this side I'm going to chain 2, and from now on we're going to work into the back loop only. We're going to go back across that row doing the same amount of double crochets, which we count a chain 2 in this pattern as a double crochet. Then later on, keeping in that back stitch, we're going to do our 5 half double crochets, and then this is followed by your 5 single crochets. Now we've completed that, we're going to turn our project and work up our project doing in the back loop only 5 single crochets, 5 half double crochets and 20 double crochets, remembering that this number will vary depending on how many chains you used. And we are going to complete this pattern of going down our project and going back up in that back loop. And this is going to create a ribbed effect that will make the hat easy to kind of fit ahead because you have a lot more stretch to work with. In total, not including the chain row, I did 38 rows. Now because we are using a ribbing stitch, we need the amount of rows, not including the chain row, to be an even number, as this means when we're going to sew it together at the end, it will mean that we can hide that edge. So I did 38 rows. You might want to increase or decrease this by 2 or 4 depending on the size of head that you're making it for. I would judge your progress as you go. Once you're happy with the size of your beanie, you're gonna finish off your project, and I decided to leave a long length of yarn as I'm going to use this to sew together the sides of my beanie. I'm now going to thread my needle and work on attaching the end of our project to the start of our project. So from where we started, I'm going to put my needle through the 2 loops of the chain stitch that we did not utilize when we were first crocheting back into our project, and then from that I'm going to loop into the back loop of the last row that we just did. So what we're doing is we're trying to mimic where the stitches would naturally go together if we were just crocheting up from the end of our project back onto the start of our project. If this isn't your thing, you can attach this any way you want. I just like this as I feel like it tends to hide the start and end of your project quite well. And then for the top of the beanie, to stop that bulbous look that kind of can feel quite uncomfortable that I find with beanies, what I'm doing is I'm looping my needle into every second row, and I'm not actually attaching the start of my yarn. This is a spare piece of yarn. I will then pull these two ends till it's tight, and I'll work the project till I like the look of it, and then I will tie that there. And once you've done this, you can just cut your ends, sew them in, flip it inside out, and then that should be your hat done. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you learned something, and I hope you enjoyed the video. You can subscribe and check me out on TikTok and Instagram at DivyneCrochet. Thank you so much. I hope you have a good day. Bye.